elements that are not suitable for some audiences. Your discretion is advised.
Yep. We in here, man. We got Jay Success in the building, man. Had to get a late start because somebody was running a tad bit behind, but we waited on him because we were trying to get him in here so we could pick his brain. This is one of the dudes, I would say, Sunchild put me up on you a couple years ago, and that's when I saw you was doing the water stuff. And then I've been following you since, and I just been seeing it growing, and I just felt like, this one of them stories that people need to hear. You know what I'm saying? Considering, we don't have too many good stories. You know what I'm saying? We got a lot of bad, images out there. So I figured, we could try to put one on there. What up, though, Jerm, man? Let me get through these what's the names first before we get going, because I'm gonna drill him. I got a list of questions for him, but we got refreshuss15.com. They got their clothing line, man. Go check them out. They got their new windbreakers right here, and they got their website up. I just want to make sure I get y'all to the website. It's refreshuss15.com. Go check them out. Also got Detroit Cousins, my man Ari, man. He got the Be the Change you want to see in Detroit. Y'all see I'll be wearing it on the show and stuff like that. And also plug, I got to get they website too, but I got to get them a flyer up. But plug clothing line, they over there on 6 Mile and Myers. I think it's 11,000 6 Mile. Right off 6 Mile, the big building. It's like on the left if you come in west to east. But I'll make sure I get them up there, and y'all can go check my joint out. Deuce5clothing.com. Go check it out, man. I got some nice t-shirts in there, man, and stuff. I'm just trying to drum up a little stuff. Y'all know how we get on. We trying to feed the fam. And I got the Gmail address if y'all got any questions about the show or advertising on the show or anything like that. It's Mike with a Mike 313@gmail.com. And y'all can just send in any questions, or if you got music you want me to play, and we can get you going. So we can get going on this, because we're not gonna try to keep y'all that long. But how you doing, Jay, man? You all right?
Yeah, what's good, man? First, thank you for waiting on me, and thank you for having me. And yeah, I'm excited, man. I love this setup, and I love what you're doing. I seen you had Sunchild on here. Shout out to Sunchild. So yeah,
my man. So let me make sure we get off, so we can get off on the right foot. Because first things first, we gonna get into the Tyler Perry opening up the studio down there. So we get that out the way. Let me put this up, because we don't get too many of these. We don't get too many swings on in studios and stuff. You know what I'm saying? So we got to make sure that we just hype each other up when it comes to stuff like this. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
What up, though, Mark D, man? But so what you think about the whole Tyler Perry setup? You think?
Well, they had the grand opening. He been had it though.
Yeah.
He was riding through it. So I think right now it's just at that point where he about to start going crazy. But it's the ultimate Trump to me. It's like no matter if you was an enemy, if you kind of didn't like something that he was doing, if you wasn't with the wigs or whatever the case may be, just the fact that that's one of the best business moves that you can do is investing in yourself, and that's essentially what he did. Is
definitely,
I think I seen some headlines where I think he paid like $250 million, but I'm not really sure. Maybe we could pull that up on a song or whatever to see how much he paid. But just the fact that
shit don't really matter.
He took that money, some of his wealth or his riches, and he turned it into wealth.
Like
is
crazy.
Where we could take notes from that and just know like that's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to continue to build, and how do you get a legacy? How do you do something that people can utilize? Like what is the next move for your business? And he did that for his business.
Definitely. That's taking care of the kids and grandkids. All they got to do is not blow it.
Future actors, jobs. It's just so much. So I salute it, man.
Yeah, I was down there. I went to Georgia to meet with some people, and that's pretty where you can see the interest at right there. Mm-hmm. That's pretty much further as you can go. But I'm trying to see if they gonna get back to doing the tours, because they was doing like tours around and stuff. I like to go down there and check that out. Maybe we can. I was thinking about taking the kids down there. You know what I'm saying? But maybe we can get a bus or something going and get a bus load of people down there so they can see it. You know what I'm saying? Because we could talk about it, but
And one thing people gotta understand is, like, he was really homeless. You know, he
Really,
went broke on his dream.
Really homeless, man.
And he had through plays, and, you know, he banked big on one, and it didn't go well. He was homeless, and, you know, he stuck to it. And, you know, a lot of people ain't with the, you know, with the wigs and stuff.
I mean, I really wasn't feeling it neither, but, you know.
But just to take that and build and do all these other different movies and do TV shows. And
I mean, how many people he put on?
How many, you know, other actors that wasn't really doing much in Hollywood. He kind of created another opportunity for people. So it's just all around for me. Like, it made me feel good, and it let you know that you can. That's the trump card, man.
I mean, the biggest thing I think is him showing us that we can do it.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I be saying that all the time when I be doing my shows. Like, they say black people is worth like a couple $1 trillion. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And it be like these holidays be going by and we'd spend, you know, 50 million over St. Patrick's Day weekend. You know what I'm saying? It'd be like, what if we took that 60 mil and, you know, everybody get together and say, you know what, we finna buy Rudderman Middle School and we finna turn that to an acting school. And then every year, instead of celebrating St. Patrick's Day, we can dump that money right. You know, we can do it. But I'm glad somebody like him jumped up there. You know, I mean, with Oprah and them, they've been doing it, but ain't nobody never pulled this kind of trigger. You know what I'm saying? So it's just crazy because I found out they shot Black Panther down there, and I'm like, you know, they shoot. You know, he been renting it. It's just about. I think it's really about taking that chance because I'm pretty sure he probably had to, you know, go empty on the bank account to pull this off because they like 660 acres or something like that. Because when I went down there, like when you get to the entrance, you could just see he had his own police cars on that. They came like to the front. Then they had a cab company like just for Tyler Perry. It said Tyler Perry Police and Tyler Perry Cab Company. And I'm like, is it really that big? But you know what I'm saying? That's why I say I want to get in there. You really couldn't, you know, see too much from the entrance. You know what I'm saying? But then when I got on the freeway and I went to go leave, I went like around the freeway and you could still like I was riding for 15 minutes. I mean, you still could see
acres. So you
I'm
know,
like, man,
it's
I know that.
Yeah, I mean, bro, it's a big space, man.
It is.
They say all the film studios can fit in there, so
all three of them. I say, man, they getting it in. So we gonna congrat him. We gonna get off.
Salute
on you,
to Tyler Perry, man, for real.
Sure.
That's very inspirational, and it just lets you know, like I said, you just got to be wise with your riches, and this is a way that we've been able to witness how to turn riches into wealth, because Tyler definitely had all the elements of being rich. But
yeah, he could have left. He could have went on here about
he could have been good
and been set.
But now it's like you turn that into wealth, and that's the way to do it. So salute to him.
Yes. All right. Well, you ready to get into it, man?
Yep,
Let's see if I can put the pressure on you. So for people that ain't like me, I've been following you, so I pretty much got it. But like, who is Jay Success? If you could sum it up, who would you say if you saw you? How would you explain you to somebody?
Jay Success is an entrepreneur, a family person. On the business side, that's what a lot of people, you know me from. And my entrepreneur, it's just something about business, you know, starting, running, and growing businesses and marketing businesses. So let me see. I'm trying to think of a good. You know, I even got like 7 things about. I'm gonna try to pull it up real quick because it's like 7 things that kind of make up, you know, Jay's success.
Yeah, I read that on the one of them business things where they say you supposed to have the like you supposed to have a little rundown on yourself. So if somebody crack you,
hit you with the,
you supposed to. I'm like, man, I don't. But it changed so much. You know what I'm saying? That's how I feel about it when it come to me. Like, it changed. I can't be doing nothing. Like, I can't stick to one thing and say, you know, we got a list right here. But I mean, from what I be watching, when I be seeing your stuff on YouTube, I mean on Facebook and stuff, because like I'm glad you go live. You know what I'm saying? At least you ain't one of them people going live with no bullshit. You know what I'm saying? So that's the main thing. And when I saw like when you got the building, I'm like he really moving. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know what you had, the print company first. What was first, the print company?
I had a company called Press Play.
Okay.
And that was like in the malls for 10 years. And I was working with all the independent artists. And that's you know, that was real huge in terms of like us working with artists, us working with promoters, Doughboys Cash Out. A lot of artists from the city in that period, that 10-year period came out, and they would sell their CDs. It was the iTunes before we actually had iTunes.
Wait, so you pressed the CDs or you just sold their music?
We was a retail spot, but through that retail spot, we did multiple things. So we would press up CDs for artists. We would give like distribution deals where we would put the CDs in gas stations, put them in other record stores. We would sell it at our store. We would help them with going and meeting other people like DJ BJ, Hot 107.5, FM 98, with party promoters. And it just was more than just a place where you could go and just buy music. So that's like where all these other businesses kind of came out of.
Was that the plan though when you started, or just kind of?
It kind of was, because you don't never want to just do one thing. You know, it's just so many opportunities to do a lot of other things in the same industry. So it was always a plan to do more, because like the more they came out with iTunes, once they came out with iTunes, they opened it up for independent artists. And once they opened it up for independent artists, it was like people start going in that direction.
Yeah,
but thank God we had,
you know what I'm saying?
you know, other businesses, and we invested so that and then the mall start, it really affect, like right now Forever 21 is closing like
I saw that,
a whole bunch of stores. I don't know the amount, but they closing stores. It's really this whole like transformation from people going into physical locations. Not saying that they're not going to exist, but it's not going to be as profitable as it was.
I don't even know the last time I've been to the mall.
Yeah, so
you know what I'm saying?
You gotta do. You can't just put, you know, everything into one business.
Definitely,
you got to do other things. So that's what we did. We had the printing business, and we was able to take that and grow that business. So
once you get going on that, so I mean, how did you get it? How did you get even into that though? You just saw like a lane.
Man, people was getting taxed for real. Like they was going to In the Mix. They was going to a lot of different disc makers, and I'm like, yo, I could do. And this was when, like right now, the suburbs ain't as bad, but it was a time, remember, where you couldn't really go to Northland with no L's. Right. Or you couldn't go across 8 Mile with no L's.
So I ain't catch the bus.
We was losing money because artists wasn't able to like get their CDs pressed up. So I'm like, man, I was doing it in college, hustling, you know, selling CDs.
What school you went to?
I graduated from Marygrove.
Sweet. Oh, yeah. Over there, on 6 Mile?
Yeah, right down the street from
there. Chris and JT went there.
So it just was one of them things where when you in the mall and you talking to people, like it might be something you might say, Jay, I heard you print. I need some mics. I need some mic flags for my mic, or I need a backdrop. And even if I didn't do it at that time, I would figure out how to get it done, even if it wasn't through me. And that's how the printing company basically went, because it's a service that no matter what you do, you're gonna need some type of printing, even if it ain't flyers. You're gonna need something, T-shirts, whatever. So.
Oh, so so you get on with everything, because I seen it, and I saw that's when Sunchild put me on you. That's when you was doing the water, and I saw the other day you had like a big ass pallet with all the bottles on there you had put up on Facebook, and I'm like, that's serious business. I can, you know what I'm saying? Like when you start moving in pallets. Yeah, that's, you know, going from a box.
The beverage company, man. Shout out to Aquaholics, man. That business is going crazy right now. Like,
so how do you get into that? I mean, like, cause from what I understand, like if I wanted to get into it, you distribute them to me, and I can just have like
I got into it cause shout out to Roy. I went down in Vegas, and this is when I had press play, and one of my business partners had just up and left. You know what I'm saying? Like he was supposed to do the management for press play, and he just dipped and went to Vegas. So I was pissed, because for me, like I already don't like, you know what I'm saying, like dealing with new people, and then we had this chemistry, and we was gonna do a lot of business. And he called me like, man, I'm in Denver, and then he moved to Vegas. So he had just kind of kept in touch with me or whatever, and he was like, man, you should come down here. So I went down there with him and his girl, and then they was just on this like holistic, you know what I'm saying? Like at the time it was holistic shit, because it was like I went to CVS and I grabbed my little body wash and my toothpaste, and he was making little comments like, "Man, I wouldn't give my dog that." And I'm like,
Oh man,
"What the? What? Can we cuss on here or not?"
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, like what the fuck is you talking about, dude? Like,
Yeah,
it
man.
just irritated me because he just kept saying it.
Yeah.
And
you
then
don't wanna deal with that kind of stuff, man.
and then that's when I watched this movie called Food Inc. and it changed my life.
Oh,
You
on
know what I'm
Netflix?
saying? Yeah, it wasn't even on Netflix then.
Oh, then okay, I saw.
Yeah.
I think I saw that, but I ain't watch it though. I thought it was. What was it about?
It was about the food industry and how like they control the food from when it's grown, or if it's an animal, how it's raised. Food companies own, from seed to soil, from seed to the supermarket. You know what I'm saying?
So
Or
they just let you in on
baby
the game.
to when it gets slaughtered. That whole process is controlled by a few people, and it dictates how the food is being eaten and consumed. If you watch that movie, you would just give you an insight on. I ain't talking, on YouTube they be showing little parts of like animals getting kicked around and shit. Like this really go in depth to how it's being controlled.
Oh, okay.
And
About the business side of it.
The business, the commercial side, from the legislative, like how they lobby, like all areas of it. And when you see it, and it just open your eyes to like, man, I'm not gonna continue to support this because we really had the power. So I took that back and I opened a store called Shea Butter. And then Roy ended up moving back and running that business. And through that business, other businesses came out on our lifestyle, because we always talk about, like how you gonna make all this money, but you spiritually, mentally, and physically not able to, be successful in those areas.
Right.
So that's where Alcoholics came. That's where Organics came. That's where Dope Soap came. So we had this whole other business that was on the other side of Press Play.
Right.
That we was doing.
Oh, so that just basically funded the next projects, the Press Play.
Well, Press Play funded those projects, but we was always doing other businesses that related to our lifestyle and just things that we do. So
wait, you like Sunchild? You like a vegan too?
no, I'm not vegan.
Oh,
I just started back eating. I stopped eating fish, and then I started back for my diet. But I was vegetarian from January until like a month ago, and then I started back eating like certain fish or whatever. But I know Sunchild is vegan.
Yeah,
I ain't in a rush either.
Yeah, that's what I said, man. Like I
think people be doing stuff because you feel me, like it's trendy. Like
that's definitely.
It make you feel good that everybody is doing, like some people gonna buy film studios just because Tyler Perry, they ain't shot one movie, they ain't did no podcast.
They gonna be ready.
But they gonna buy a film studio just because you gotta do what works best for you. So, shout out to the vegans, shout out to people that do all those different diets. But, I'm doing the diet that work, best for me.
Yeah, I can't even get into it. I don't even want to try, because it's just too much stuff that I like. I really don't see myself giving up chicken. You know what I'm saying? Like I'll be watching the videos like on YouTube, and they be doing the stuff and how the chicken's raised. Like I just try to not watch that stuff, because once you watch it, you'll have a different deal. So I want to get into so what all you got, the Success Building going. I see that's what it's called, right?
The Success Center, yeah.
Success Center. Okay. So what all that's gonna have in there? Was that your son that you had in there?
Yeah, that was my son.
That was your son, yeah.
Shout out to Josh. Shout out to all my kids. They do a great job. I must have deleted that from my page. This whole time I've been looking like the little, but it's all good. Yeah, shout out to all my kids. Got four kids. Same woman, 4 kids.
Oh, that's a good job right there.
Yeah, and Josh, we just celebrated his birthday, and he threw a skating party.
Yeah, I saw you put the flyer.
Yeah.
Yeah, so how long is it? You working on it now, right? The building.
Yeah, so the Success Center is just a hub for all of our businesses. It's like over 12,000 square feet of space, and in that, Alcoholics, Organics, we got a spice company called Abundant Spice. We got Motown Printing, and then we have a podcast room. So it's similar to, you know, the room that we in, where you can come and do your own podcast for a real low. I mean, obviously this is the best way to do it, and we encourage that. But for people that really don't have the space or have the time and don't know how to set things up, we have that available, and you can rent it for a real low price. And then we have a facility that you can rent and do events. So if you want to do speaking presentations, you know, maybe Mike want to do like a live, you know, where he come in and he bring his equipment and then he interview, and then he need an audience that'll come with like 100 people. We have a space for you to do that. And then we just got our front office where we, you know, take orders and do conferences and things of that nature. So it's a pretty big project. It's almost done though. So.
Yeah, I mean, I see. Let me put the picture up. I had put it up. Where is it located at though?
It's on Wyoming. So it's on Wyoming between Finkel and Interval.
Okay, this is one of the pictures right here. What room is this gonna be? Because I saw
that's the front. That's the front. When you first walk in, that's the wall you're gonna see.
Okay, like the lobby when you come
yeah, like the lobby.
Okay, so we got. Let me put the make sure you walk us through, because I saw it how it was like.
Oh wow,
like,
you did get some pictures.
Yeah.
So that's the warehouse area, and I was probably standing like right by the door where
sitting up there.
Oh, okay. So my son took that picture. Then he's standing by the door, and over to the left is like the Motown production area, and over to the right of this picture is where Aquaholics and Abundant Spice and Organics is gonna be, and that's the production room.
Okay, sweet. Let me put these up because I want to make sure, so we can get everything going. But this is before the clean out.
Yeah, that's when we first moved in there, man. It was crazy. We moved all the stuff from our 6 Mile building into that area.
Oh, so wait, what you was renting or leasing or something?
No, I bought a building on 6 Mile.
Oh, first.
Yeah,
Okay.
Which was like a real small building.
Okay.
It just had a lot of shit in there.
Okay, yeah. See, but this is after I see y'all.
Y'all
getting it together.
Yeah. That's what's up. You got the pictures. Yeah, Cartier took that picture. We was doing an interview. Shout out to my man Cartier.
I mean, this I want to get to that. Like, so you said it's on Wyoming. You said 6 Mile, Wyoming.
Mm-hmm.
That's okay. All right, everybody know where that's at. That's on the west side. If people don't know, that's on the west side.
Yeah, on the
Detroit.
west side. You know, right off the lodge. You just go down.
So how do you get to getting a building? You know what I'm saying? Because there's a lot of people out here, like a couple people I know, they lease buildings and rent them. You know what I'm saying? And I really think that that's the wrong way to go. I mean, even though it could help your business having a storefront and everything, I just feel like, why would you get locked into like $700 or $800 or $1,000 a month lease?
What I tell people is this: you got to do what works best for you. Mm-hmm. Like, if you can't, if it's not in the budget to lease, then do it at the crib. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, it ain't nothing wrong with running your business from your basement and starting out doing that. I outgrew my office. Like, we was in the basement of my home. And at first I was over on at one of my mom's properties. And we outgrew that. We got a space. And then I ended up having to move back to the basement of my crib. Moved there, outgrew that space, leased another space. I leased like 6 different spaces before I bought my first. Well, I had that building, but I was leasing it out because it was just too big. I had that building for like 7-8 years. But I didn't even, I leased it out because it was just too big at the time.
So what you was doing?
Yeah, it was way too big. So once you move out the crib or you move out the basement, then you can go into a small space. But if you know you're not going to be there like that, if you know that it's going to be a burden on you spending that money, then it's nothing wrong with running a home-based business. I mean, Google, Amazon, all these huge companies, they started in the crib.
Yeah, right in the living room, man. That's
in the living room. Yep. Ain't nothing wrong with that.
No, nothing at all.
And I just kept growing, man. To answer your question, I kept on leveling up, man. I just knew that we needed the space. And this building, I got it on Craigslist.
Oh,
and
yeah,
it was just an opportunity.
I found one on there too, but somebody had sold it right on Grand River and Schaefer.
Yeah.
Like 75.
You just gotta look, you know, like I know that I just always be looking for other opportunities to advance, you know, in wealth, because it's cool to it's cool to have a good income. It's cool to be rich, but how can you create wealth for your family? And wealth is in finding the right opportunities at the right time. And I found that building at the right time, and it was the right opportunity, and I grabbed it.
But that's what I be saying. Like, it's like your business. Like when you press the CD up, it was due to helping people out, basically giving them a better price. You know what I'm saying? And that be the question that I be asking, like most like entrepreneurs who own their stuff. Like that's the scary feeling that I be having. That if you take that jump, is people really gonna respond the way that you need them to? You know what I'm saying? So as far as something like that go, that's what I be wondering. Like somebody like you, what you think about that? Like as far as just taking a leap, and like what do you suggest for people that's ready to basically turn the corner on something like that? Because it's a scary feeling.
You gotta try it, man. You're gonna be scared. You know what I'm saying? Before you get into a fight, you're gonna be scared. Before you go on stage, you're gonna be scared.
So like now, do you still feel that? Like that fear?
I think it's a natural feeling it's just like before a comedian, like you ask Kevin Hart, I'm pretty sure, man, you step on stage with 50,000 people, I don't care how much you do it, you gonna have that. So that never go nowhere. It just don't go nowhere. Okay. But man, if you've been like lost everything, or if you ain't had nothing, and just that feeling of going back to catching a bus, or not having money. Like I went to a meeting today, and my daughter, they at the school, they going to Washington D.C. It's like $650, and I'm like, oh, okay, well, no, that wasn't a problem. Like, okay, we can, but just that whole like you ain't got it. It just push you to like, yo, I don't care how many hours, what it take. If you promote it, if you allow people to try it, people will give you a shot. Like, but if you don't, if I would have never, I just pressed up one CD. I bought some printers. I pressed up one CD, and I put it in the showcase. And one of the first clients, the Lodge Boys, shout out to the Lodge Boys, man, they came and bought 1,000 CDs that same day that I pressed up that CD. So if I would have never even invested, I spent like $200. I ain't know what the hell I was doing with printing. Like, I knew how to do it as a hobby, but we talking about commercial setup type of stuff that I didn't know nothing about. I ain't had no plugs, no nothing. And I completely screwed up their order too. Like, it was a disaster. But just the fact that they came and they paid me in full should tell you that you got to test it out. You got to get people to, hey, Mike, like, yo, come on the podcast. You know what I'm saying? Don't even worry. I normally charge, but don't even worry about it. Yeah. Like, he getting out here, he doing it. Now you consistently do this. In a year, I see you got a whole bunch of sponsors. I'm not sure who paid you, what you done worked out, but for you to have all that traction, I don't know how long this been going on, but it seemed like
we started like the new year, so
not for you to have all that right now, show that people, the vibrations are happening. Yeah. But imagine if you just kept talking about it. Because I think me and you had a conversation about the podcast thing before. Yeah, I did. Now you got your own podcast, and now you have me on your podcast network right now. So that show you that you probably was nervous. You probably know nothing about how you was gonna put this together. Man, he over there clicking the shit and putting shit together and got shit that I ain't even. I'm gonna have to get me one of these. Like, he doing this shit, so
that's what I was
You could teach a class on this. You can do YouTube videos on this. You could,
I'll be
you could add value just from the short period of time from what you did. So you don't just have to do a podcast. You can do a podcast network where people can come in and get on your network and do that. You could go teach about this. You can do YouTube videos about this. You can write like a page on and put it on the internet, an article about this. You can write a book about this, all off of you just doing jumping. A podcast. Yeah. So you have to, as a person, if you scared, I would just say jump on it, because it's so many other different things. This might not even be like this to start, but this might not even be what you doing in a year. You might you might find somebody's show that take off and they on your network and you getting income based on what they doing. But because you started this, you're able to go through all those opportunities and explore those.
That's what I be saying. Like, but that's what I be doing. I be telling people, come on here and like just market their stuff. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, as simple as that sound, I tell somebody like, hey, yeah, come on the show, you know, promote your business. And that be my issue. Like, I don't get why people want to do that. I know I'm doing it. Like, I got my books right there if you can see them. But like, I wrote a couple books and stuff, and I be just telling people like,
fucking crazy, bro. You wrote some books?
Yeah, them two of them, well, three of them right there. Let me see. Yeah,
you wrote these books?
Yeah, that's mine, and that's
we putting them on here. That's
they
crazy,
up there. I don't even think. That's one. Oh, I got a couple children's books. No, they can't see them up there, man. I put them up all the time.
What's up, bro? See, I knew none of this. That's what's up.
Oh man, I'm out here. I'm trying, man. I'm chasing you down.
That's what's up, bro.
I see you got the building over there. When I saw you post the building, I was like, look at this. Here
dang, dude.
Cause when
this is incredible.
Yeah, I'm trying. That's what I'm saying. I'm heading towards Tyler Perry. I need to get me one of them studios so we can get to shooting some of this stuff. You know what I'm saying? That's why when I was down there, I say, let me pull in here so I can touch it. You know what I'm saying? And you can see it. Cause I think that's what make it real. Like having somebody like you actually come on and talk about the process of it, that makes it real. You know what I'm saying? Versus, you know, I always say like where we from, if we grew up around drug dealers, they can't tell you about college. You got to really get around somebody that been to college and somebody that really ran a business and, you know, that's running one. And once we get that going and we get those people in the front, then we can make some moves. You know what I'm saying? Because it's hard for us to get led by somebody who's not doing it. And I just be like, that's what I'm trying to do with this show, help people get their business out. And, you know, in the same time, we all can market on, you know, everybody can market on everybody platform. You know what I'm saying? Because I might not have, you know, people like, I got a friend that do like home improvement, my brother and them. It might be people on my friend list that need them. So if we can just work together, we'll be straight. And, you know, that'd be the thing. I'll be trying to figure out what's the problem with that. What's up, Michelle? You good? Michelle House in here, man. I don't know, man. So when we get to it, so I got a question for you. So what do you think it takes to run a business? Like, you know, because I mean, to start one, can you break it down to that? Because I be trying to explain to people like really how cheap it is to get going. You know what I'm saying? Like this was like,
you know, you had asked a question. You said, why do like people, why is it so difficult? A lot of it for real be like doing it and failing. And I had like even today, like this just hasn't been the best week. And I didn't want to come. Today I was like, man, but I gave you my word and I was like, yo, I'm about to get here. And I think a lot of the initial part of like how do you get started with what you're doing is to actually put one foot in front of the other and to do it. And I think that part, even though it's easy, like people, it's so much easier to talk and sound good and hear yourself, and psychologically that make people feel like that they really accomplished what it is. Like, bro, I've been struggling so hard on working out. Like that shit is just so much just taking it out of my schedule. But when I talk about it and I put up something on Facebook, it feel like I'm like,
like you
Diesel. But man, when you gotta really get in that gym and you really gotta do it, man, and make that commitment. And I just think that people like a post or telling a friend like, yo, I'm about to do this, instead of like really doing making it happen. So you gotta really just put one foot in front of the other. And that it's been so many times for me, you know, and I'll just share this with y'all. It's been so many times that I've pushed myself to do something and it has came out so well. So I just encourage people, like, even when you don't feel like it, like, it just, I was tired, you know, that's just kind of fatigued today, and I just came off a major sinus headache the other day, and I was like, man, you know, like, I don't feel like coming. Like, I was just pulling myself up, but I know in the back of my mind, like, yo, if I do this, you know, not only am I keeping my word as a man, but I know there's something good gonna come out of this situation. So even with you starting your business, like, you know, putting that foot in front of the other, putting something on the internet first, trying it out. I mean, really walking through the steps of how you did this. Like, first, you know, I'm sure it was an idea. Second, you start reaching out using, I mean, we can walk down this podcast. Let's walk down this without me even knowing, you feel me, everything that you did. But I'm gonna walk you guys through how you manifest this. First, the idea pops in your head, right? And then this ain't exactly what you did, but I'm just gonna walk it down. Then you talk about it, or you post it on social media, like, I'm gonna do a podcast. Or you tell your friends, I want to do a podcast. The next step after that is the research. So you on your social media, you see Jay Success. Oh, he got a podcast room. So you shot me a DM. How much are your rates? You know, I want to get in the podcast. So this is still not action, but this is some action because you reach out.
Just pulling the research together.
So then I tell you the rates, and then I think that you probably was like, damn, added it up like, well, I want to be at the crib. You know, I got my family here. So let me research on how to do this at home. Mm-hmm. So you hit YouTube, you hit Google, and you start researching, yo, how to do a podcast, how to do a home-based podcast. Yeah. What equipment do you need? Yep. So you probably got some bread. You know, I think that was like, did Christmas pass? Did we have some holidays, income tax,
and all that? Yeah.
Income tax, holidays, people getting enough money, and don't let money, because people be saying it like, yo, I don't have money, because they trying to still buy the Tyler Perry studio when you need to have the studio in your basement first. And you need to have some basic equipment just to get it going.
Oh, I had told somebody that I'm in a podcast group on Facebook, and it's this dude, he really do his podcast. It sound good. I listened to it on Apple Music one day, and it sound good, but he do it like, it's like a little, went to Home Depot, bought him some little stuff and put him a little corner, just plywood, put him a couple pieces up, hung his mic up, and he off and running. And so that's what I be saying about how it's really not that far away.
No, it's not.
To get started.
So you go on Amazon, or you went to Guitar Center, you bought this stuff, you set it up, probably screwed it up the first few times of recording it, learning, doing, and he got the whole computer thing with the screens and all of that. But from not even a year to now, we have action. Yeah. Is it where he wanted to be? No, I'm pretty sure he got real big dreams of where you want this to go. Yeah. But is it action? This is further than 50% of the posts of people who said they wanted to start a podcast are at. So this is a great example of how you go from a thought to manifesting actual action right here, what we witnessing right now.
Yeah, because I did that, like, I thought I got everything set up. Like I said, I'm in a podcast group. I got everything set up, and I say they was posting pictures of their setups. Mm-hmm. So I'm like, I got my little setup, and that's what I put. I say, you know, I thought I got a little one. It's people comment under there like, that's not little, that's big. And I'm like, I thought I was like bottom of the barrel. That's why I be saying, like, when people say, I did a show one time about like all the businesses you can start with like under $5,000. Mm-hmm. Like, you can get a hot dog truck or something like at Home Depot. Tax time come, you and your cousin or somebody, y'all both get $4-5 grand. Go ahead and get that hot dog truck and go and post up outside the AutoZone and get the bar. You might want to own a clothing store, but you can get that rolling now and have that.
Then, dude, I went to Cali, bro. They take a hot plate, they put a skirt over it,
like a Myers hot plate,
like a dollar store hot plate, bro. And then they got like, they make they own hot dog thing. They put a grill with the foil. Mm-hmm. They got a cooler, and then they literally got like a hot plate right on where the stars are on Hollywood, whatever the street is where you can see all the celebrity. Yeah, it's multiple people that sell fruit with the fruit cups. And I'm talking about the setup is not, and we get on that, bro, we can drop it. You ain't even got to get the hot dog truck off bill. Yeah. I don't know what the laws with the food and all that is, but what I'm saying is they got the hot dog thing without the hot dog truck.
Without the truck. They just got, that's what
I mean, you can literally disassemble that shit and move in less than 5 minutes.
Because I saw the guy downtown one time with the bike, and he had the cooler on the front pedaling the bike with the ice cream in it. And like, I'm down there with my boys and they just playing, and like, I seen him probably maybe down the Riverwalk, and he got stopped about 10, 15 times on his bike with just a cooler on the front. And I was thinking right in my head, like, I know he just made like $100, like, and it's only been like 15 minutes. So I'm like,
it's hard, man. It's really difficult to get started, man. Like that part is tough, man.
That's the scary. That's why I be trying to get people to understand, like, that's the scary part. But once
you get past it, or you get sick and tired of, I mean, you in debt, you got some student loans, you making $40,000, $50,000, $60,000, $70,000, $80,000. Half of that's getting taxed. Hopefully you ain't got no child support. Hopefully you don't have a car note. And, you know, you just in the rat race, man. You just paying bills. You got about $2,000 to $3,000 extra a month. You partying. Like, it got to be something that spark you to really want to create some type of wealth for your family, or put that money aside, invest some of that money, get you an emergency fund, pay off as much debt as possible, and really experience life, man. There's people really out here, like, seeing the world, happy, waking up every day, having fun with their kids, going on $10,000, $20,000 vacations every year, going to see the world, man. That's changing people's lives, man. And we tripping, man. I
said that on one show. Like, I'm pretty sure I done rode down Grand River to Belle Isle probably 200, 300 times in my life, when I could have used that time and been going somewhere else. And I done got older and I done traveled places. That's what I be trying to tell people, like, you really got to go somewhere, because once you go other places and you meet other people, not to expose nobody, but then you really see, like, the situation you in is not okay. Mm-hmm. You might be winning. I say that all the time. Like, people around here be winning. You might see them in a nice car, but if you live 2 blocks from me, you not doing much better than me. And that's what I be saying about, you know, growing and getting around people where we can actually, you know, do what we, and get around people that's gonna pull each other up.
Do something that make you happy. Even it might not be traveling. It could be going to museums, or learning more, or teaching, whatever it is that is gonna make you happy. You need to put yourself in the best position to do that.
Right.
And one of the vehicles that I've seen that allows you to do that is entrepreneurship.
Yeah, I think. And that's the thing I be really want people to do, and then reaching out to people that's doing something like you. Like, I press up my t-shirts and stuff, but I'm quick to ask somebody who do it. Hey, what you got? What you doing? What programs you using? What company you use to get your shirts? Like, I think that stop us too. Like, especially like as black people, that's the one thing that stop us. We scared to ask questions because we don't want to look like we just, you know, like dick riding. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think that I always say that, like, that stop people from supporting each other, and that stop people from growing, because, like, I didn't know you. I just said I saw you doing something. I said, from the inbox his ass. You know what I'm saying? Worst you can do is not respond. Like,
that's how I built a lot of my relationships.
That's how you get them going, man. Like, if somebody want to know
inboxes,
something, man, you jump in there. You never know, because people ask me about podcast stuff. I just answer it. Like, I tell you what and I could point you to the video I watched or what I did. But like, hey, Micro Center got such and such, and that'd be cool, and like we can go from there. But let me see, man. We're gonna spin this girl track, man. We can take us a break real quick, because I got a few more questions before I get him out of here. We got Jay Success in here. If y'all don't know who he is, man, get him off my friend list, man. He's a good dude. I say throw the babies in front of him, man, so they can see what's going on, man. All right, this is King Renigad and Miss Carmen Lifetime.
Maybe we can roll one. Tell me what you wanna do. Said you want a real one. Well, girl, I want a real one too. Tell me what's in your heart. Tell me all the things you love to do, so I can fix your heart. Yeah. Sunny days, dark nights, rough sex, hard fights. Through it all, I would still be here for you. Let the song cry, even had to shed a tear for you. I don't play games, this is real, what I feel for you. Took you to the Smoky Mountains, cause I'm over heels for you. Even had the nerve to cut all my bills for you, just so you could just chill, and I make you feel spoiled. Sat down, had a combo about the past. When you moving fast, minutes seem to never last. All I gotta ask is when times get bad, would you be so quick to leave it? Would you really have my back? Cause I done had my own fam turn on me. Sister never switched, brother turn on me. Yeah. And they put me on the news, and I'm looking like that's cool. They only see me counting blues.
Tell me, baby, would you ride for me? Tell me you're the wide and getting my shine. Tell me, baby, would you ride for me? Through the bad times to ring my line. Tell me, baby, would you ride for me? Always and forever be my baby. Cause I'm gonna be yours for a lifetime.
Somebody.
I love you.
I love you too.
Look, just remember one thing. Always treat the woman right.
Search the whole world, trying to find a love like this, so divine, worth my time. You're the rhythm, the flow, and the tempo, yeah. Baby, you got my attention, and there is no pretending I'm happy. In a place so dark and dim, for you I've been patiently waiting. Won't hold my breath, got no regrets. Ready to take the next steps.
You're one of a kind, and he still put his hands on you hundreds of times. So you look at me and think that I'm one of them guys. I'm just trying to repair your heart, but it's nothing inside. Till we been through it all. Realize that I'm here through the ups and the falls, and through all of our flaws, we still reach for the stars. Let it go to sleep and still see you tomorrow.
Tell me, baby, would you ride? Would you ride? Tell me you're the one. Help me get my shine through the bad times. Through the bad times. Cause I'm gonna be yours for a lifetime.
Yes, sir. That was Miss Carmen, and I hope I ain't butchering dude's name, man. King Renegade or Renegad, whatever it is. That's a song called Lifetime, man. I like it. Y'all can get it on social media, all the social media platforms, and we got it. I actually got it on YouTube. I saw it on YouTube, but she on my friend list. If y'all want to add her, man, she make good music, and I just recently seen that she did the national anthem at the Tigers game, and that's a major step right there, if you ask me. But
Music sound real good.
it sound good, man. I like it. I mean, I like her style, man. I like her style. Before we go further, y'all make sure y'all get on my stuff, man. Go to Deuce 5 Clothing. I got shirts. I got some hats. I put my video up the other day. I did a little commercial, and we gonna try to get things going. But we finna jump right back on him for while we got him here. The question I got, like, how do you go about, like, advice you can give for, like, advertising, like getting your business, like, out there? Because, you know, a lot of people do a lot of things, but, you know, I mean, I don't think people use social media like they should. You know what I'm saying? Like, I always say it a lot. Like, you'll put up a business, say, okay, I'm opening up the Success Center, and, like, you might get 50 likes. But then if you put up a video of two motherfucking girls fighting, oh, that's gonna go through the roof. So what would be your advice to somebody that's trying to advertise and get their stuff out there without doing the bullshit.
Well, advertising is more so like a strategy to market your business. So I would say first is marketing, and with social media, you ever heard of Gary Vee?
Yeah, the white boy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like him.
Like, you try to add as much value, and this is a strategy that I've been using, but I call it for real indirect marketing. Where you just try to add as much value and content as possible, and then you subtly just ask people to, support and do shit, but you make it so that it's indirect and it's not direct. Because when you tell people like, buy my hat or buy this mug, it's like kind of like your approach is too direct sometimes.
Right.
But if you talk about, hey, I'm getting up every day, you get up and then you post, you pouring some tea in your mug.
Yeah.
And you talk about the mug, and then you indirectly, you might say, hey, I'm going to give 10 of these away.
Yeah.
I think that it kind of subconsciously has people thinking about the product, and when it's time to buy it, more people support your product versus you just get on there, buy my mug. Mm-hmm. So that's been a strategy of mine. And then I also believe in like giving it, like maybe you would give me a mug and say, hey, take this, and I don't want nothing for it, but just put it on your page.
Yeah, that's what I said. I was doing people that subscribe to the YouTube page put together a basket. I got a couple of people put the basket together, and then we can like raffle it off.
Yeah,
to the subscribers. Like when people come in, I got the refresh clothes, and they gave me some stuff. Like we just gonna put together like a basket, and we just trying to,
and that's all planting seeds.
Yeah.
Of course, you want to get your product in front of. You want to put your product in the hands of people, or your business in the hands of people that got the most exposure possible. Right. But if you don't have that access to that, then you have to work with the network that you have.
Yeah.
And when you put that in front of them, you could ask them, you could pull them to the side. I think that direct contact is better. Sometimes DMs, like I've got a lot of stuff. I gave a lot of water to just people that's real popular on social media. I've had to mail it. You jumping in their DMs, that helps too. But I feel like the best is face-to-face relationships. If you can get that, which is going to involve you going out, getting into the world, as well as social media. And when you start doing those elements, you're going to start to see more traction in what you're doing. So you got to kill them on the internet in terms of posting your product. You got to talk about your product. You got to talk about the benefits of your product. You want to talk about everything but buying it. Then, second, you want to put it in people's hands that are on social media. Then third, you want to get out here in the world and put that cup. I can go to the club tonight and have people taking pictures with that club. I could get 50 pictures. Yo, hold this, take a picture. People like to take pictures. People like to be seen. Mm-hmm. So you put it in front of people. You have them taking pictures. Some people might post it. Some people might not. But that's all traction. And then you have your bag coming in so that you're not even, this all is exposure. This has nothing to do with your money. You're not depending on this as sales. You're not going out saying I'm going to sell 10. This is all exposure, promotion, marketing, advertising. You do that for a year and you still got your money coming in, because that's what we did with Press Play. We had money coming in. It wasn't a problem. And we would go out to all the clubs. We would be promoting on social media. We would do everything we could to just get the brand out here.
That's what I read. It was in Damon John book. He said he used to take his FUBU clothes to like DMX, and like the early DMX videos he had on the FUBU shirt. He said when they got done shooting, he took that shirt back because he only had like one shirt. So he went around. So he said you might see DMX in the shirt, but then you might watch another video. It might be a dude in the background. So he'd be like, that was the same shirt. And I'm just like, that's how, you get out there and just get your stuff going because, I mean, my main thing is to get people to understand that we just got to go. You know what I'm saying? Like,
and let me just jump in and say this. Like, you asked the question earlier. You was like, why is it that people are hesitant? Like, to get to DMX, to get to a celebrity, you waiting 4 hours just for a picture.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They get into you got to get in the club. If you want to get in free, you're going to have to get there at 8 o'clock. The artist's not going to show up until 1:40. So if you want to pay, like maybe not the taxing rate, but if you want to pay anywhere from $20 to $50, you're going to have to get there before 10:30 and still wait. And then you get there and you might get the picture, you might not. You got a 1% chance of them posting it or putting it on their story. But
man.
All I'm saying is that just go back to people not willing to do that. We've had like 15 celebrities come here already.
Yeah.
But who is going to wait 4 to 7 hours just for a picture, just for their product?
Man.
So that type of stuff deters real entrepreneurs from fake entrepreneurs.
That's what I think. That's what I said. I had told my, everybody know by now because I put it up on Facebook. I had drove to Georgia by myself to meet with some investors.
Yeah.
Like, I was like, man.
And Damon John didn't tell people, like, yo, I waited 6 hours for DMX to put on that shirt.
And he didn't know if he was going to put it on.
He just made the story sound good, but guaranteed one of them artists, he was waiting.
Or probably 10 probably said no, and DMX probably said, you know what,
exactly. And there wasn't no social media. You literally had to pull up.
You had to get out and get in that line because, I mean,
so
we
people ain't trying to do all that.
Yeah.
But that's what you really got to do to get out here. You have to immerse yourself in this business if you want your business to be successful.
Yeah, I think that's the most part. Like, I used to get mad at that though. Like, I got 200 friends, or you got 1,000 friends on Facebook and all that, and then you be like, okay, I'm finna write this book, and when I put it out, I'm finna sell 1,000, and then I sold 100, and I was like instantly mad. But I was like, I still got to get out there and I still got to push it. You know what I'm saying? And that, I think that's one of the roadblocks that stop a lot of us too, because I learned how to understand that everybody ain't got $10 for my book.
Yeah.
I used to be mad, like, you my friend, you speak to me, why you ain't buy no book? Like, then you look at the situation and be like, man got 5 kids. You know what I'm saying? And he lived by himself. You know what I'm saying? And that be the thing, like, I think we put unrealistic expectations on our business due to like Facebook friends or even people we went to school with. You know what I'm saying?
Don't depend on them. Don't depend on your Facebook audience to carry your business and support your business.
You got to get out there.
You show that, and you look at them for referrals and exposure, because most of your friends just go, oh man, you doing it, and it really don't go no further than that. And then eventually they come along. Even the people that hate you, they come along because they constantly watching. But it's some friends that I've been knowing, like all my life for real, since high school, and I ain't never, asked them to support nothing that I've done. Yeah. And some of them come along, some of them don't. And I'm not tripping on that, because I'd rather just keep the friendship, I don't want
$10, right?
Yeah, it's all good. You just use your social media audience to provide exposure and a digital portfolio and platform for your business. Right. And you try to add something, offer something of value to your friends. And I think that that's where you win, to where you adding so much value to them that it's almost like, damn, like, how could we not support? Like, anybody with some type of conscience is going to feel like, man, why would I not support what this guy's doing? Because you're pouring in and you're adding so much value to what's going on. And that's just the way, like, I learned this from a lot of my corporate and a lot of white people that I deal with. Like, what white people will do is they'll give you, or with corporate people, because it ain't all just white people, it's a lot of professional black people. But I just like using a white example because it just feel like, but I'm really, when I say white, I mean like corporate, very successful, like making $90,000 or more a year.
You know what I'm saying?
What they do is they give you a contract, right? So they'll say, hey, we want to put this podcast in our school. We want you to teach our kids how to do podcasting. I'm gonna give you a whole semester to do this, and then they won't ask you for nothing, and then they'll come around and say, my daughter having a fundraiser, for her cheerleading team. Is it, if it's something you can contribute, cool. If it's not, cool. That's your opportunity right there. But that's them asking you without asking you. Right. And they didn't put so much money in your pocket. It's almost like crazy for you. I don't want to
burn that bridge.
It's almost like you burning that bridge if you don't do that.
You don't do it. Yeah,
but they not, it's no pressure. They not,
they don't say,
if you can.
Not
a problem.
Saturday early, 1 o'clock.
Donations start at 50. They max out at 500, but they didn't put 5,000 in your pocket. So 500 ain't nothing. Yeah. So I just to go back to the original point of social media friends and people that you grew up with. Everybody needs something, some sort of value, something like with a podcast. My whole pitch on my podcast is that if you're an entrepreneur, you need a professional digital platform to discuss and sell your business, right, and market your business and even discuss your business. That is my pitch to entrepreneurs. So a lot of people that follow me are entrepreneurs and they can relate to that. Now, if I make the price make sense and they have the availability, I know I got them because I got the quality and I have the marketing that I'll tell them, because I really believe that this is not just a sale, but when you go on a podcast and you're talking, you're going to say some things of value. And I think that you should do that at least twice a month, where you go live, where you do some type of podcast, where you go do some type of interview and you discuss your business. Because even print business, even this, like even you talking about mic setup, talking about how you do the podcast, how to sit, how to talk, how to have your voice, how to light, how the lighting, how does it work for you being in an urban neighborhood? These are all things that somebody needs to know about. So talking about that stuff is going to help people. So if you find out what helps your friends, then eventually they'll come around and give you a shout on your business and support you.
That's what I be saying. Like when it comes to getting the support, like everybody's not gonna jump at immediately. You know what I'm saying? Like I knew like it'll take time to build an audience and all of that. That's why I be trying to reach out to people like y'all to say, okay, we could pool together our audiences, and then somebody on my friend list might be like, oh man, I needed some stuff printed up. And then they'll hit you up. And that's what I be trying to, that's what basically what I'm trying to do with my whole platform.
And the thing is too, we don't care, bro. Either you support or not. Like, I want to help you out. I want to give you value for you tuning in to me. And you know what I asked, like right now, one time, whoever watching this video, whoever's going to watch this video, I don't want you to buy nothing on this right now. Like if you feel led to, cool. But what I would like you to do is just like the video if possible, because likes brings up the algorithm. I feel like in this podcast that, and we're not ending it, I'm just sharing this as a pause. I feel like that we've added value discussing things on this. So all I'm asking you guys to do, if you're watching this, is just hit the like button. And if you want to, it's cool, hit the share button. That's all we're going to ask today.
Go subscribe to the YouTube.
Go subscribe to the YouTube page.
That's what's going to really get it out.
That bumps up so that you can continue to see this content so he can improve his show. And down the line, we got awesome products. We got books. We got services, print businesses. If you feel led to support in the future, cool. But if not, cool. And that's really all I be asking for, because
that's all I be asking for, man.
It ain't even about like if you gonna do it or not gonna do it. But it's like out for you guys, for my audience, for people pouring into, because we built wealth in Detroit. Right. So I want to give back as much as I can. And giving this content is
that's what I can do right now. That's what I said. I can't give you $100, but I can get you on the show.
We can set up a podcast room and give you content on how we made this happen.
Yep. And that's what I be wanting people to understand. Like, because to be honest, like if you decide or somebody decides, say, I'm finna start pressing up t-shirts. If that's your only source of income, you already in trouble anyway. And it ain't nothing Michael really could do for you anyway. But if you got something else going and you adding something on, then come on around, because I mean, it's just all about getting it out there, you know what I'm saying, and just having it, because and we can learn from each other's mistakes. You might come on here and say something like, oh man, well, like I was talking earlier about leasing the building. You know what I'm saying? See, my view on it was don't do it. Your view is like go for it. So now they got two different views and two different people versus me just saying it to them directly. You see what I'm saying? And
yeah, because everybody can't. I mean, it's nice, bro, but you really got to evaluate the cost just on the building thing. I mean, it's cool because I get what you saying. You like, yo, you can own it, but sometimes just transitioning, like your kids, right, or my kids. Okay, so they go from our house to probably a college dorm or a college situation. They go from a college situation, and you know, we're not going, because I know people, they supposed to get married. Let's say they don't get married immediately and they move into a house. Like, I think that you should go from renting like a studio to renting a house, because you need to know what that feel like first. Yeah. You need to know at least for a year how to take out the trash, how to shovel the snow. Now, this can be different with women and men. We just going to talk about the fellas for right now, just to keep the example straight and narrow. You need to know how to shovel the snow. You need to know how to cook for yourself. You need to know how to pay these bills. Then, once you do that successfully, then, okay, let's jump on. So I just believe in steps. Yeah. Because for me, sometimes when people jump out here, like I said, bro, it's going to be some people that's going to like really try to buy like a film. Like Tyler Perry been building this for like 10, 20
probably
years.
Since he was 5 years old, though.
You know what I'm saying? Like, he been building this. Like, if he gave me and you and like 10 people that, we couldn't even afford the maintenance on it.
Right. He can give it to us right now.
He can give us the deeds and be like, yo, bro, go ahead. You know, I really like this show. I came on. It's a funny thing. I came on Facebook. I seen y'all talking. Here go the deeds and everything to the studio. And it's a wrap. We couldn't even afford to pay the police that you was talking about. A light bill, none of that. Yeah. So I just feel like with that example, like I get your mindset on it. But what I'm saying is you have to crawl before you walk. Right. And a lot of us haven't been taught, we haven't been groomed to understand a lot of these things. So you would get a lot of people out here that'll see the Success Center not knowing that I had it for 8 years. I done paid taxes on it for 8 years. I bought other buildings. I've had other real estate. You know, I've watched things elevate. I have other properties that I manage, and it's not just one thing that I just stumbled upon. Right. And they're going to try to go buy these big buildings and fail because they looking at what I'm doing, not understanding that I've been working on this for 8 years now.
That's what the guy, I had met with the guy that's a building over there on Warren. He wanted $100,000 for it. And we was really like talking about him trying to help me get it until he said the taxes was $16,000 a year. And I'm like, man, I'm not about to give you my money and I lose this place in a year or two because
like Sherwood Forest and Palmer Woods, like the taxes over there is like $20,000 a year.
And you still got to fix the place up, right?
Yeah, I mean for some of them, but even still, $20,000 a year for some of those properties. Man. So you trying to be in a big house and you can't even afford the taxes.
The taxes, like, man. As bad as I wanted to get going.
So
with that
just
guy,
crawl before you walk because you're not understanding that this stuff take real money and it can suck you dry if you're not ready. So be proud of whatever level you at. Yeah. Embrace that level because it look good, but man, it be all kind of hell that go on.
Oh man,
owning all this shit and having all these responsibilities.
I be telling people all that, man. When I bought this camera equipment, man, I was damn near vegan for 2 weeks because I was like, when I pulled the trigger on it, it was a couple grand. So you got to take that step back and say, all right, well, I guess I ain't getting no shoes for the next couple months. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, like some real shit. Like, you know, I'm finna be.
Might have to miss a few meals, but I want to. My goals and my ideas is bigger. So it ain't nothing wrong with crawling before you walk. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Embrace that and enjoy you being where you at right now in this place. You know, kids in the back, like man, embrace, man, love that.
That's why I say. I mean, like cool. I said, I look to people like you and it's like other people, you know, Jay Morrison, right? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? You look to people like that and you be like, all right, so I see your level over mine, but then his over yours and then Tyler Perry. That's where I'm at now. That's what I learned to do because at first I was really like, I'm telling you, when I did my t-shirt stuff probably 10 years ago, I said, I got all these friends. I literally ran out and pressed up so many shirts, and they just end up sitting in the house. You know what I'm saying? And that's one of the things that I learned, and I feel like I need to share that part with people. Like, that's one of the steps that I tripped over that you don't have to trip over. And that's why I be wanting people to come on to share that part, because somebody might add you today from watching the show and say, oh, I can just go buy a building. No, it ain't that simple. I'm glad you come in and break it all the way down and say, hey, don't jump your ass. Because, like, if I didn't know no better, my man was cutting me a good deal on the building. Like, you know what I'm saying? Oh, man, you just give me like $800 a month. You know what I'm saying? And we could just work direct like a land contract. But what about the 16 grand? What about the 40 grand I'm going to have to put in to fix it up? And, like, I don't sell that much merchandise. I don't got that many advertisers giving me that much money, and I can't take my work check because I got to pay my bills. And I was like, man, I appreciate the offer, but.
And I'm going to tell you, too, like, this how I learned, you know what I'm saying, like, my lesson on just, like, not trying to bite off more than you can chew. When Sherlin's was in, I wanted a Sherlin, like, bad. Like, I had saved up my little McDonald's check, and I went to Eastland, and I'm looking. And I could not find no Sherlin. So they had this Pelly Sherlin. Like, Sherlin's was like $600. So they had a Sherlin, but it was like a Pelly Pale one. So it was like a peanut butter brown with the white fur.
The fur on
the inside. It was cold. It was only $200. Real Pelly and all that. It was the last one. I'm like, bet. So I bought the Sherlin. So feeling good. I rocked it. Then I put it in the cleaners. Guess how much it was to clean it? $125. And then my dad, when I walked in, my dad, like, I'm like, Dad, I got it for a quarter of the price. Like, stop tripping. And then he took me to the cleaners. You know, which is funny to spend $600 and not have a car, but that's a whole nother way to talk about that. So he took me to the cleaners. So the lady, like, these kids don't be understanding when they get these coats how to maintain. And from that moment, it was a lot of indirect things that happened in my life. And that was one of those indirect lessons where I was like, yo, like, you cannot try to worry about what other people is doing, because if you try to be like other people, you gonna find yourself having a headache, because
you already asked
it's
out.
So difficult.
You already asked out.
Just maintaining and understanding what it is that they even have. Like, you can't always jump to the big house or the big building or the big car or whatever. You gotta
even if
your
you got
level
it, though.
well.
Even if you got the money for the car, you gotta understand, like, you know, that's a Mercedes. You
gotta be comfortable with you.
Who gonna change that oil when it's time?
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Like, the plates of the
My boy was telling me, like, listen, man, a Maserati to maintain in a year is $4,000 in maintenance.
Dang.
A year.
That's oil change and tires and shit.
Yeah, like tire, oil change, just the maintenance on it a year. Expect to spend $3,000 to $4,000.
My car now, shit. So I can't imagine paying, like, man. I had a homeboy had a Jag, and it was like $250 for like an oil change.
Yeah, man, that stuff is ridiculous.
I can't even imagine giving nobody $250 for no damn oil change, and I know what it takes to change oil. You know what I'm saying? Like, literally one screw. You know what I'm saying? It's like, why would I do all of that? But let me go back to this right here, right quick, because I want people to see. Because I mean, what was it? I forgot which picture it was. Man, I'm gonna make sure I get it up here for you. When you was talking about the square footage, how do you go about, what's the name? How you go about getting the square footage? How do the pricing go on that? Because I'm interested in that myself. Like, what would you think would be a good size? Because how much you say that was? 17,000 on the square footage on
No, it's over 12,000.
12,000. That's what I'm saying. That's pretty big, man.
Well, I saw it on Craigslist. I got it for a steal. I ain't even gonna lie to you. But
yeah, that's pretty big, man.
It just depends on the area. Like, you're gonna probably pay between 40,000 to, you know, $1 million right now, depending on where it's at.
That's number one too. They always, when I talk to people, they always talking like it'll be a small little building. And
it just
be
depends.
Like $60,000, but they
right
like,
now
but
with
it's
the
on
green
7
zone,
Mile. You know what I'm saying?
And all of that, like the buildings that went up because the laws changed. Like when I got that, none of that existed.
Oh, okay.
So it was just like a lot of opportunity. But that's the great thing about real estate is that we keep on having more people and we keep on having innovation, and people need places to run these organizations. And if you happen to own a piece of the land, then you can benefit with owning a piece of the land, and as long as you have a use for it, you can make money. So even if you buy in the area, you know, like even like Brightmoor, it's like it's babies being born every day. It's constantly things happening. So you just never know. But if you don't invest in real estate, then you'll never even have that opportunity. But at the time when I invested, you know, it was a glass factory. You know, it was abandoned. It was messed up. And then I leased it out. And they fixed it up, and I finished it up. So, just pricing square footage, I mean, it's kind of difficult right now because the market is, the market has changed. But expect to pay on a good side $40,000 up to $1 million. I've seen buildings for $1 million, like around the size of mine. And then I've seen some for 40,000. You know, it just depends. You know,
like location and all that.
Yeah, location and all of that, and what you want to use it for. But just know what it is that you're trying to do, and make sure you scaling up to be able to utilize that. Like we really gonna be running multiple things out of that place with a big team and all of that. So it's just one of them things to where we can handle what it is that we got going on. Please don't watch this podcast and you ain't really got the money to pay the taxes, and then you just blow your money on some real estate that you can't afford right now.
Because they'll take your money for the down
payment.
payment.
They're going to take your money and happily kick you right out if you can't afford it.
I had read an article about some Detroit businesses. I don't know if it was true or not. It was just like some Facebook stuff I clicked on where, like, if me and you own a building, you can sell your half to somebody. It, like, say I live in New York and I own half the building, you can sell it like as a deed to another person, and they could fix it up, and I could just come in and just be like, well, all right, now that your business running, give me half.
Well, it just depends on the contract. I mean, you can't just, you know, like, I don't know all the real estate laws, but you can't just do whatever the hell you want to do, but it just depends on the contract. Like, if the company, I mean, if the building is deeded over to a corporation, the corporation got shares, yeah, you can sell your shares in the corporation. And if the corporation owns the building, then essentially that's you selling part of the building. So it just depends on how the contract. I mean,
I guess that was something that I will tell people to watch out for. Make sure if you go in to buy a building, make sure it's one.
Don't even watch out for it. Hire a lawyer. If you're spending over $5,000, you should hire a lawyer. A lawyer only charge on the high end like $500 an hour, on the low end $150 an hour. You can get you a good lawyer that's gonna look over your paperwork. And if you're spending over $5,000, you should definitely retain a lawyer, and they're gonna look over the contract that you sign, and they will be able to point out any type of bull crap, so that way you not getting yourself into a situation that just don't make sense. You shouldn't even buy no real estate without a lawyer. You should definitely
not no house or nothing.
Anything over $5,000 is worth
protecting your
paying
money,
a lawyer,
especially if it's your last work. Especially if it's like if you taking your income tax money. That's why I say, you know, it's like that's things that I didn't know, like hiring a lawyer. I just thought you can go down there and say who name is all on this deed. It might say Success LLC, but if you got 4 partners, you technically only selling me your 25%. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I say.
People do all type of stuff, but
that be their way to get out the deal, though.
Yeah, but to protect yourself, you just wanna. If you spending over $5,000, just get a lawyer. Whether you buying or even if you selling, if you selling anything and the income is over $5,000, that way none of what you do, because I don't know, like I can't speak for somebody selling a part of a building, but what I can say is to protect yourself, just get a lawyer, and that way you will come out you'll be straight.
All right. This is what I want to get to, man. Before we get out of here, we going to almost an hour and a half. So, what's the big picture for Jay's success? What were you at in 10 years if you can be there?
Moving, having an operation in Detroit, having an operation in Atlanta, having an operation in New York and California with Aquaholics. I'm going back and forth on like doing a cafe, doing a licensing agreement for a cafe, the Aquaholics Cafe, and then having just like a lot of products online and really, let's see, 10 years. So I'll be part-time. I ain't gonna say retired, but I'll be part-time, meaning that, I'll be working maybe 5 hours a day as opposed to working 16 hours a day. And just having a business is like having Aquaholics. Might have some type of deal. We definitely gonna be in all of the major stores or all of the major websites with all of our products, and having a vast amount of products that deal with health and wellness on the site, and not just beverages but health and wellness. And that's where I really see, I think I'm gonna move either to Texas, take the family, we're gonna move to Texas or Atlanta, and still have everything going on up here, still be back and forth, still have properties and real estate and all of that, but just going where you got the ultimate opportunity to maximize on what you're doing as an entrepreneur.
That's what I be saying. I always say that, like, my short-term goal is, or I say 5 years. If I can do $100,000 off of 40 hours, I'll take that for the first big leap. You know what I'm saying? If I could open up a building or own a business where I only have to go there for 40 hours and I could pull $100,000 off of it, that'll allow me to go do other things with the rest of my time. You know what I'm saying? So,
yeah.
I mean, and that's not really that hard to do when you really honestly think about it.
I mean, as long as you know what your expenses are.
Yeah, that's the main thing. Like, that's one thing. Like, I be watching a lot of YouTube videos, listening to the little seminars where that's what tangle people up. People, gross and net ain't the same thing, and people need to really learn that. And then gross and net after inventory, and you know what I'm saying. Like, you might made $100,000, but only 22 of that is yours.
Is making $100,000. What is your salary?
Yours is $22,000, right?
So yeah, you gotta know. You really gotta map all that out and understand. Like, it's a company $100,000. That's not your $100,000. Your $100,000 or whatever is the salary. So that means the company gotta make more. So
gotta make
$230.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you definitely want to know all of that. But that's a good goal.
Yeah, I think, and it's reachable too. But yeah, we gonna make sure you get out of there. I got one more thing for you before we get up.
Oh no, you good.
What about the Amber Guyger girl? Did you hear about that? The girl went in there and shot.
Yeah.
That shit is just so.
Man, that whole situation. And I hate the way the internet, like, it's really exposed, but it's like a depressing. I mean, I don't feel no different than when I heard that what's the guy who got killed with the Skittles and Trayvon Martin, and then the guy who got choked up by the police,
Eric Garner, all them,
and then the guy who got shot in Ohio and murdered. I mean, it's all the same feeling, It's just like what I didn't like, or what disturbed, because you gotta watch everything you say. What was disturbing to me was the hugs and the hair and they just. You
know what, man? Like, I've been to court at least 100 times in my life. I ain't got not one motherfucking hug before.
Exactly.
Like, not like one time.
If
man.
you gonna forgive, man, you could just like forgive to yourself. But
over there, you can back the fuck up and forgive somebody.
You don't have to, all this extra affection, because we not receiving that. And it's just,
that's my point. Like, if we was passing it around, so everybody was getting
man.
it. Yeah.
It's just, but this.
I really want to ask her why she was combing her hair. I really need to talk to that lady.
Yeah, this example is just like we can get on the internet right now and find 10 other examples, and they all make me feel exactly how I feel.
What you think? Her. What you think we got? I mean, not about the lady, but like those black people. What we got to do about that? I mean, if it's anything we can do, I mean, I know we can't control people, but Like,
you know, you can't. I mean, people have actions and people have reactions, and the sad thing to say is, man, you can't control how people react. Man. You don't know. It could have been forced. They could have said, yo, you got. I mean, you just never know. So I just say, you know, like, you gotta continue to live your life. You gotta make the best decision possible. We know that we playing with, you know, 2 cars or 3 cars, and they playing with 10. Mm-hmm. We know all this, man.
I
and
threw
it's
this
just like
out
you
there
gotta
the
keep
other day.
on. You gotta keep on pushing because the playing field is not.
It's not even.
It's not
and,
designed for us to win.
And that's what I be saying a lot of times. Like, that's the first thing we gotta admit to, that is not even.
Yeah.
Then we can go in another way, because if we really going in thinking we really got a fair shot, you already fucked in the game, if you ask me. But what I was saying is, like I threw this out there the other day. Do you think they paid that boy off, the brother, to say that dumb shit? Because it like,
you know, man, anything
like,
is possible, bro. Like,
I know.
There's so many different
just,
examples, you know, of things that was did and said and not told to us, and just actions. And I just say, man, anything is possible. You feel me? Like, it's disturbing just to even talk about it, because we know what it is for real. Yeah, you know,
I feel bad for the people that don't. Like, you know, you hear some black people
and
be
them
like,
the people that you really gotta focus in on and let them know what we playing with. Because sometimes it's just like when you play a game and you don't know how to play the game, and you just get your ass kicked in the game because you don't know how to play it. I think that it's more important right now to continue to move how we move and show others how to play the game, because as we play the game, we move further. We move further to black presidents. We move further to owning studios. We move further to more billionaires. We move further to people building schools. We move further to people helping other people accomplish their dreams and giving other opportunities, because it's like what you know what I'm saying? Like, if we got mad and we just said, yo, we about to go find this bitch and we gonna take care of her. How many people gonna show up? How many guns do we have? How many resources do we have to get there? How many people's houses can we even go over to stay the night? So
that's not gonna rat you out.
We so far behind on the game that we got to continue to build podcast studios, continue to build outlets, continue to generate revenue, continue to build wealth, and continue to fight in those methods, because some people can go to war. Not saying that all black people can't, but a lot of people cannot, or they would run on that field and get slaughtered.
And be the worst.
You gotta work smarter, man, and that's what a lot of people have been doing, and have been putting themselves in positions so that when that stuff happened, they got the lawyers on deck, they got the people, they got black judges, they got people in the Supreme Court, they got people that can fight this. Or if you don't like it, you just bounce, just leave,
just get up out of there.
Because
you know what I'm saying? Because
you don't have to be here, but if you're gonna be here, you gotta move a certain way,
and you got to know that. You know what I'm saying?
What you up against. If you decide to move the other way, like, I'm with whatever, but
that's how I feel about it. I say
I'm with whatever, but we got to know how to move on each.
I just want to know what we gonna do. Like, you know, I my thing be with black people is we be so amped up, like, let's go do this, and then, like, we don't never really do shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, we talk. I feel like we talking a good game nowadays.
And I think that it's a lot of people that's doing stuff, but I think that they doing it subtly and behind the scenes, just like a lot of other races do. Like, you know, they shit on Muslims, they shit on Arabics, they shit on all that, but what do? They continue to buy liquor stores, they build their community, they continue to get stronger. I mean, you go to Dearborn, man, it's just so much power and so much control of entrepreneurship, and so much control.
There's stores over there I never heard of
that they have
up and running.
So everybody, they may not have faced it like how we face it, and I'm not saying that it's right, but at some point in time, people have experienced, even when they, you know, bombed China and they came back, and now, you know, everything that's here is made from China. So it's ways to do it. It might be the long game. It might be your kid's kid, but it's ways to get over that. It's just, are you willing, going back to how the original question, the original discussion, are you willing to play the long game and step out and make that happen?
And make it happen. And know, That's what I be saying. Know that it ain't for you. Like a lot of stuff you doing is for your kids.
Absolutely.
And you probably not going, like I be saying that. Hopefully I'm around when some of this stuff jump off. But if you get the ball rolling, somebody else got to come and keep it going. You know what I'm saying? But sometimes it ain't for you to celebrate. You know what I'm saying? Like it's really a lot.
You got to be the Jesus in your neighborhood. You got to be the Jesus in your family. You got to decide. Somebody was the Jesus in everybody's family. They died on the cross for all the bullshit that was done. Somebody, they had a drunk family member and they said, not only am I going to not drink, but I'm going to raise my family to understand how important it is not to be addicted to any type of alcohol or drugs. And they probably wanted to drink or probably start drinking until they had kids, but they stopped, and they was the Jesus for their family. So you have to understand that if you came from nothing, and we're not just talking about money, because everybody feel like that money is, you get money, you straight. No, we're talking about resources. We're talking about education. We're talking about building wealth, not just making a whole bunch of money.
And I be saying circulating the money in our own neighborhoods.
Which is equally important.
Yeah, because like we reach out for so much stuff. I feel like that don't give us a chance to grow. Like, you know what I'm saying, as a community, because if, somebody can, like you do the printing. Like, of course, Vista Print might be cheaper, but to circulate the money,
not all they stuff cheaper.
I mean, I'm just saying. Because
I know, but I'm just telling you.
Okay, all right.
Not all they stuff
that's
cheaper.
just fair. That's for people to know. Like, I mean, that's what I be saying.
That's great marketing that they do.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think people do a lot of that too. If you got it and people can use it, people circulate dollars. Yeah. It can be more, but I think that we moving to more spreading the wealth among Black people. Mm-hmm. But what I think that we should really be trying to focus on as a race, as a society, as Black people, is this whole robotic, animatronic, whatever that's about to, like, we in the whole information age.
Oh man,
but now we are very slowly, very subtly transitioning into robots. And I've been thinking about this, like, how we had the Mark Zuckerbergs and the Amazon, I forget my man Elon Musk and Steve Jobs. We're going to have some multi-billionaires in the robotic industry. We might not see it, but our sons, we need to be preparing for when that happens, because they already got vehicles that drive themselves. They got vehicles that they testing that do deliveries. And
they got the drones dropping the shit off.
They got the drones. They got all this technology, and they're gonna start implementing robots. And I think that we need to really get that engineering part of our side up, so that we can be the person that create the screen on a robot face that we patent, that makes you $1 billion, or you write the software, or you make the arm that you get the patent that only do this with the arm type shit, something in that industry, so that we can monopolize that industry before it really happened, because they are moving towards I don't know what it's going to be called, but it's going to be like the robotic age, where it's going to be robots everywhere. And the people who come up with that and come up with different, you don't have to just build the robots. You can come up with,
that's what I be trying to tell people.
You can license things that all the people who build robots do.
This ink pen, it got a spring in there. The person who make that spring is not the pen company, but the guy who make that spring is a millionaire.
He's getting paid, 0.1 cent off of every spring because he licensed it out.
But then if they sell a billion of these pens, he walk away with a couple $1 million, man.
So I think that we should really focus on this wave and the next wave, getting on this internet and getting on these robots, because that's going to be, you're not going to really be able to go out and really hit. It's always going to be room to hustle, but it ain't going to be as easy as it is right now. Like it's super
early
easy
2000s, man. When
that
tech bubble came, man.
And you can literally take all this and go out to the street and get you some money. Now you got to have a cell phone. People don't got cash. They got cash app. You know, everything is moving
That's
into
what
a
I'm waiting
different
on.
way.
My little thing you plug in the phone so people can just swipe. That's what I'm waiting on now.
So let's get with it. You know, I love my people, so I'm telling y'all, I'm giving y'all the game. And one more time, you know, subscribe to his YouTube channel.
Man, please do.
Make sure you like the video. We're not trying to, you know, we got all type of products, books, and services that we offer, but we ain't even on here on that. We on some, just like the video. Just give us a like. Hit, man. You know how y'all do the thing where it, like the likes, it go crazy. Like do that one time if you watching it and you feel like there's some good content.
I like it, man. So anything else, how can people reach you, your social media stuff, man?
Just hit jsuccess.com. I'm
J6. You got a website?
Yeah, absolutely.
I ain't know that.
Yeah. jsuccess.com, man. And, you know, shout out to all my people. Shout out to Ray Stone. Shout out to my family. I love all of y'all that's watching this. Shout out to my business partner, Roy. Shout out to the Avalon Village. You know, we got a nice partnership with them coming up. And shout out to you, man. Thank you, for having me, man. And I appreciate you bossing up and creating this platform and bringing me on. That's like really the Trump. Like, all right, I hear him for the podcast. I'm about to do the podcast and I'm gonna interview you on my podcast. No. That's some bossy.
No, what it was
look, for real though. That's bossy though, like, Mike.
I was reaching out and I said,
I'm saying though, bro, I love it. Like for real, man. This is great. You really need to have this, man. Anytime you feel like getting up and just releasing. Yeah. Talking about your business, man. You created an outlet to do that, man. There's nothing wrong with that, bro.
No, man. I'm just trying to push it.
You can wake up in your robe and just go on here and be like, yeah, man. Like, shout out to 7 Mile Radio, Mark. He get up, man.
Mark, man. I done questioned him down too. I done went over there, man. I already picked this brain. He already know I be watching this show. I be watching this show with a pen and a pad.
Exactly, man. So shout out to y'all for creating these outlets for us to come on, man.
I think it's gonna help a lot. I mean, you know, like you said earlier, like people eventually coming along. That I think that's, you know, somebody got to take the lump in the head. You know what I'm saying? And I just feel like, fuck it, I might as well. You know what I'm saying? Because we don't got that much stuff. And then, you know, like with Mark D, when he do the news, it be like so different from what be on, you know, on TV. You know what I'm saying? And I just be like,
because that's all bullshit.
Because it's bullshit, man. And then if we get our own stuff, and
it's like 10% content, and then 90% like they trying to sell and get ratings and shit.
Yeah, so they gotta find.
They have to, man.
Man, they'll take this interview and go to take one line that you said.
They've been doing that, man. We just getting on. We just getting hip to everything, bro.
Man, and I'm still learning. Now I say that all the time, like that really be the first step. Saying like, I don't know. Can we raise your hand and tell the teacher, hey, look, I don't know. Teach me. And I think that's what we doing like today. I mean, it's a lot of stuff. I mean, I'm gonna go back and of course I go back and watch the interview. It's a lot of stuff like I didn't know, like, and the stuff people can take a look into and all of that. But we're gonna let him get up out of here, man. We played Renigad. I hope I ain't butchering his name, and Miss Carmen, man, Lifetime. And he got jsuccess.com. He said you can get all this stuff, man. And how far is we away from the Success Center? How far are we from the doors opening?
Man, we right there, bro. And I'm gonna invite you to the
grand opening.
Yeah.
Don't make it dressy, man.
No, man. Right. We're gonna keep it straight.
Okay, I can jeans and t-shirt.
Yeah, you can put the jeans and t-shirt. I'm about to do it. I'm gonna put this on my Instagram.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Shout out to Mike, man. Good successful show. We live too.
Oh, okay.
So
man, there we
live,
go,
baby.
All right, man.
Yeah, but no, probably like 2 more weeks.
2 weeks.
Yeah.
All right. So he said it's on between 6 and 7 or 5 and 6 on Wyoming. You say where it's located?
Oh, it's between Schoolcraft and Finkel.
Schoolcraft and Finkel, okay. Between Schoolcraft and Finkel. Oh, you talk up there by what's over there? Blue Note? What's over there? That little bar right there.
Yeah. By that bar that be banging.
That little bitty bar been banging for years. I don't know who owned that because that's across from the car wash and stuff, right? Got that little pull-in car wash.
Yep.
Okay. Where you at? You on the same side as the bar?
I'm right next to the car wash.
Okay,
like directly
on the other
door.
side of the light?
Like right next door to the car wash, not going towards Schoolcraft, but
going towards
back.
the tracks.
Yeah, it's huge too, man.
Yeah, you can't miss none of that stuff over there. How you land that, man?
How did I?
How you land that piece over there?
Craigslist,
like
on the land contract.
Oh no, okay, all right.
For under 30,000.
Jesus, I would have never thought that, because I would think up in there would probably be 150, 200,000.
I mean, that's like if
But,
I wanted,
is
if
that
I
the
wanted
price?
to give it away, that's what it'd be worth now. If I
Oh.
was like, if I was feeling real generous, like, well, you know, I just
Because who owns something over there? DTE? Is that who on the other side of the tracks or something right up in there? They got like
I don't know, but it's
like
an
a brick
industrial.
company?
I'll put it to you like this: it's the green zone, and it's industrial. Like you can do any type of commercial, anything. That area is zoned for that.
Is the potato chip place still over there? I used to
Yep.
live on Monte Vista back in
Yep.
the day.
Yep.
And you can smell them potatoes. Y'all can still smell the potato chips when they be
Man, I
out
be
there
smelling
cooking.
potatoes every day.
Every
dude.
day, yeah. I remember that
Smells so
smell,
good.
man, when they frying them chips up over there. But yeah, man, we got Jay Success here, man. We had a nice little chat, man. Y'all
Follow
make sure.
me, J Success, on everything, jsuccess.com, man.
Yes, sir, man. Y'all send y'all stuff in, man, to Mike with a Mike 313 at gmail.com. If y'all want to advertise on the show, y'all want to send in music, or you want to be a guest, or you got any questions about the show, merchandise, or anything like that, go subscribe to the YouTube page.
I want to see at least 50 likes, man. If you just come across this, just give
Oh,
me,
man, we gonna
like, do that like where you see all the hearts, man. Make us feel good,
make
man.
us
We
feel
ain't
good.
asking y'all to buy nothing. We got
Man,
products
we'll
and
get to that.
taking out our
We'll
time. We just
definitely-
want y'all to like and subscribe to his
Definitely get to
YouTube
that.
page, man.
Man, y'all have at it, man. We gonna get up out of here, man.
Thanks for listening to. You were just listening to Mike with the Mic.